Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age, where we have rejoined our factory on Novice. We're now ready to start work on the yellow science and purple science. Yay! So let's take a look at what we need. I haven't even looked at the plan on this yet. We have this one belt down here, which is reserved for moving our yellow and purple science around. We have all this space off to the left that's reserved for our yellow and purple science. Let's get our area prepped real quick. If I can bring this into focus. So we're going to do all of that. I'm going to do a little site prep, removing the trees and rocks and such. We'll just do that whole thing like that. And while that's going, I can nip up here and look at what it's going to take to make my science. I need some power real quick so that I can prototype a little. If I start from here, there we go. That gives us a little working area. So we're going to want to do yellow science and purple science. Let's see what they've got. Really, I want to do the yellow science first. We look at our technology. We see we need yellow science, we need yellow science, we need yellow science. We do not need purple science yet. Yellow science needs processing units and flying robot frames and low-density structures. I am already making all of those things in quantity. So we have processing units, flying robot frames, low-density structures were supposed to go down to the bus. I know I brought one of them down and stubbed it. Someday I will have enough speedy legs that I don't have to speed things up. Here we go. So here's LDSs. So let's do this from map mode. So low density structures are part of what we need. And the other thing we need are flying robot frames. Somewhere up here we built flying robot. Oh, right here. How about that? We even brought it to here and then didn't bring it any further. And we'll have the robots spin all of these all the way out here. So this should be an easy build for yellow science. Basically, our output can look like that. I think I'm going to use the lamps and the power, not like this. I'm going to turn it. Oh, come on. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so this means our outputs are here. No reason not to fill in the purples over there. We're going to have something that's close, and we're going to have something that is far. Now, are there anything that is different rates? Well, let's see, we need 0.1 LDS per second, 0.07 blue chips, and 0.03. But it doesn't really matter. So let's just bring both of the things down. Let's see what the easiest way of getting these going is going to be. Whoops, not you. So I think it'd be easiest if I merge the two at the bottom to come in like that, which means this guy coming in like that, and this guy has to be in here so you can jump forward. Sorry about the dim. It looks really dim to me. It no doubt looks dim to you too. Which means that this guy is going to be blue chips. Just like that. Bring all these guys out just like that. I want these to be producing as much yellow science as we are producing red science. So currently, with 10 machines, we're nominally making 90 red science a minute. With 2 of these machines, we are making 12.86. Times 2 / 90, 12.86. We need 14. Now, I actually knew that from before. So I'm going to take this, shift click on it, set you as a grid aligned thing. No, that was wrong. I had one too many. Something I always forget to do, look at the green box here, make sure it's correct. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that. Now the outputs here, we're going to be mirroring them up again once we get all the filters set. You are only yellow. You are only blue. You are everything but blue. Like that. Now we pull this again, and this revision will just go up and set all the filters for us. And there's our yellow science going out onto that belt. So we should now get yellow science streaming into our science array. And we are not. Why? Because I am bringing in electric motors, not flying robot frames. I brought the wrong thing in. Okay. So we need to do corrective measures. Where am I bringing these in? These, I'm bringing the electric motors. Oops. That was silly. I didn't look carefully at what I was bringing in. We are looking for flying robot frames, which are made from electric motors. So we're not too far off. And here they are, flying robot frames. Again, these are coming down and they're just stopping here. So let's start by picking up all of this. I'll need to drain the electric motors from the other end of the belt. Okay, now with that on the way, we come out here, and basically what I want to do is I want to say if we've got electric motors on the end of this guy, I do want to get rid of them. But I don't want to delete them or anything. So output priority left for electric engine units. And we're going to put in these guys. And we're going to put in these guys. Oh, at this point I can turn off handy hands. And we can now actually request in what we want here. This is all disorganized, isn't it? Someday I'm going to have to get in and reorganize it. Purple, yellow, red's in slot 10, green, blue, and you. And we also want to put in our robots. We're going to say we want none of those, but we want 100 of these. There we go. All done. And now we're getting yellow signs. We no longer need this. It would be nice, however, if I was getting my power from somewhere that made sense. There we go. Now, purple science. You have 3 inputs as well. These are also going to be a couple of short ones and a couple of long ones. What are your relative rates? Over on the far right, we see that you need a lot of rail. I am thinking that the close belt is just going to be filled with rails. So you are rails only, and you are going to be not rails. So I want to bring you down here and over, leave a little bit of space. So some ingredients are going to come up there. We are going to be making engines, or actually not engines, we're going to be making electric furnaces and productivity modules. These guys, these are the same size, so I am going to take the opportunity right now to actually set these up to the appropriate number so that I can infer the correct number of other things. So, things we need to make: electric furnaces and productivity module Mark 1s. I think we're going to need more furnace machines than productivity machines. Let's swap them. There. I'll wait for all of them to be put in place so I can have research with military, research with utility. So research with military would have triggered way back, except we had to dance through getting the achievements put back on. But now we have research with yellows complete. Yay! How many of these guys do we need? Ba-doom. I need 3 more furnace machines and 9 more productivity module machines. Okay. 9 more? Okay. Let's swap them again. I was wrong about what order they were in. And you need 2 inputs. So this is going to be a mixed belt of green and red chips. And you're going to, you both of you require red chips. How about I bring the mixed belt in the middle? Oh, that will work fine. We're going to bring this guy down here. We're going to bring our input in up like that. What do our rates look like? That looks good. I'll give myself a little more space here. So you are going to be pulling in long-handled here. And, oh, nope. Let's keep the pattern of the power the way we were doing it over here. Okay. So you got the outputs like that. Get you some input. Get some power. So this needs to be red-green split in the middle. You are this guy. Boom. These guys are going to be bringing the red chips in. Those are our outputs. Okay. Now we need to get red and green together on that vertical. So we take our upward guy way down here. We know what this looks like. Armor Mark II's almost done. And we're going to start on mech armor. Yay! We could make Power Armor Mark II. In fact, we're going to need to make a Power Armor Mark II because you need a Power Armor Mark II as part of the Mech Armor recipe. But we're going to wait until we see the Mech Armor 2 recipe for that. Okay, 8 more of these guys. So take this, snap to grid, check the size, just like that. A lot more space in the middle here than I expected, but that's all right. Okay, now furnaces. We need another pair of furnaces, and given how little it is here, I'm just gonna do it now. Our furnaces have additional inputs. We're getting the red stuff from the right, so we need steel and brick on the left. So these bits in here are a little awkward. I'm going to remove them. These are basically our sizers. We need steel and brick. Which means the steel is going to be like that, and the brick has to come up there. Brick. We have brick and concrete. Don't get them confused. There's brick. So there's steel and brick. If I've done it right, which I believe I have. And there's our electric furnaces being made. Huzzah! Now that's everything we need for purple science except for the rail. Which needs to come from over here somewhere. So rail. Rail requires stone and steel, which we get from below, and iron sticks. We are going to need 5 rail machines. Okay, and we're going to need sticks at some point. Let's get a count on those. Iron sticks. Need a total of 2.5 iron sticks, so it's one of these for every 2 of those. Okay. So these 2 inputs plus this guy. And what are the rates here? Over on the right, we see that we need 1.5 per second of each of those individual things. I think our long-handled inserters can get us 1.5 a second. Let's take a look. Rotation speed is over once per second around, and we have a rate of 2. So if I have a long-handled inserter for each thing, that'll do it. Okay. What I want to do is I want to bring up my ingredients. I'm going to leave a gap of 3 in here. We're going to have 2 of the ingredients on this one belt. That's fine. Our output is 3 per second. Oh boy. Hold on. Okay, let's say I put our stuff like this. That means we have an input coming in here. And I put in these guys like this. And I think this will work. Power is going to be a little weird. Maybe I can bring this down by 1. Yeah, that'll work. I can't use the normal power because these are too far apart for this to straddle. And direct insert makes them a little bit faster. Now the other thing is I could go and I could alternate them. That's actually an interesting pattern. What if I do this? Or, hold on. That would force all of our inputs and outputs to be on the right. That wouldn't be good. Okay, so here's this. Oh, wait a minute. It's not alternating like that. Okay. It would be like this. Yeah, let's do it like that. It's kind of, it looks a little weird, but I kind of like it. Put the outputs on the right. Okay. You guys have these two inputs on the left, and you have one input. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use the splitter trick to move the iron into place at the appropriate times. So you move the iron to the right. And you move it back to the left. Actually, let's do it with this guy. There we go. Now power. Would that work? That would work. Okay, let's do you are stone and you are steel. Okay, and you are iron. Oops. Oops. You are rods. There we go. And these guys produce rail. You know what? I'm going to need a lot of rail in the future. So instead of just building exactly what I want here, I am going to build twice what I want. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 reps. So that's twice as much rail as we need. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in here somewhere, what I want to do is prioritize to the right. So this puts the rail on both sides of the belt. Oh, I didn't check total throughput here. These belts can do 30 per second. And what we need here is 15. Okay, so we in fact would be exactly filling one half of the belt here. Is there anything else here that comes up to near that? No. So it's just the rails that do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to prioritize to the left. And I'm going to have you down here. We have a number of these guys that have boxes like this. We're just going to bring that box right straight across here. Back to the rails, and I'm going to put it in right here. Oops. Actually, let's set you up to go 4,000 instead of 2,000. I'm going to put in 2 of you, like that. So these are only going to get rails if the rails are backed up going to science. Fair enough. So mech armor is sloughed off to nothing. Consumption dropped to 0. Production has dropped to 0 on most things because, well, somebody we ran out of and everybody else has stopped because they're backed up. We'll have to chase that down. And it's entirely possible that somebody didn't send down their science. No, we all did. Okay. Let's go fix that before we come back and route our inputs. So yellow's backed up. We probably messed up one of our sciences earlier. I only see science on one side of that belt. I don't see blue science here. Hello, blue science. Where are you? You're not being produced. You're not being produced because you don't have engine units. Engine units are supposed to come in on this belt. From over here, engine units are waiting for steel. Steel should be coming in here. Okay, so we don't have steel. Yeah, look at this. The bus is completely empty of steel. Okay, that underground was pointed the wrong direction. I wonder how long that's been a problem. Okay, so this should allow our science to continue in a moment. Okay, science is beginning to run again. There we go. So we need stone and steel on this belt, and we need iron on this one. And I may want to put iron on the one that's closer in. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do a swap here. So I can do the iron on this guy. So this is going to be iron. map mode so I can scroll down without being pushed left and right. Oh, wait a minute. Steel is above iron. Steel and stone. Well, that's going to be tricky no matter how I do it. Actually, let's bring the iron in from further to the left. Yeah. So this is my stone and steel. Because I've got just a few electric motor units sitting there. There we go. Now this is stone and steel, not stone and iron, which means it needs to be this guy. Means really that's where I want to bring you in. Bring it one further to the right if I don't mind a blank spot. There we go. There we go. There's iron. And there's our flood of rail coming out. So we've got a nice saturated lane on top, a nice saturated lane on the bottom. And it's getting consumed as we go up here. So these guys really do want a full lane. And once it gets a whole bunch of rail into everybody, we'll see what their preferred. Yeah, they're going to want to take from the close lane. Yeah, which means they end up with a single lane coming out here. And these guys are moving. We have 3K rail in the area. Why are these only 400? You guys need to be you and 2,000, really. Actually, 4,000. I am potentially going to be using a ton of rail. So let's make sure we keep large stocks, because when I need it, I need a lot of it. And this is a great place to do this, because we'll have extra burst here when we're not using purple science. We are using purple science. Purple science will have all the rail at once. So there's our purple science going. Mech armor has again stopped. Well, we've got blue science. Red, green, black, blue, yellow, white. Oh, it looks like we no longer have any white science on this line. Isn't that special? Okay, these guys need to be all this purple stuff. And I do need to have this be a requester chest. Actually, I have an idea. I have an idea. It is time to do this properly. So, purple chests. Bada boom, bada bing. Like this. It's possible that when I reworked things, I somehow didn't request in the white science, because I did do a change to the way I'm requesting things here. And this shows we are requesting in science. Good. Apparently we have a bunch of white science in our logistics area, but it which meant we weren't bringing it down, but we weren't using it either. So what I want to do is this guy goes away, and instead of a red belt containing these sciences, this turns into a requester chest, and I'm going to request in a bit of each. I'm even going to request the ones that we don't have yet. So if they arrive, we will get them. Even the ones I don't anticipate getting for possibly a very, very long time. There we go. Now this is leading towards the eventual science array where all of our science is brought in by robots. Also notice that when we get to Gleba, spoiler alert, Gleba science spoils. So once we get Gleba science coming in, I will have to have a way of getting the spoiled Gleba science out of these guys. Oh, and one thing you do is you do turn on those guys. So we can now use buffer chests. But this also means that I could do the same thing for yellow and purple science, couldn't I? I could, in fact, go into here and have these guys be conditionally producing until there's a certain amount in the logistics chests. In fact, let's do that up here. You guys use filter purple. Purple science. There we go. Document what we're doing here. Okay, you guys are going to be logistic network connect. So if the amount of purple science in logistic network is less than 1,000, then you're producing. And if the amount of yellow science in logistic network is less than 1,000, you're producing. All of this goes away. And these become red chests. So the yellow and purple science is now entirely mediated by bots. I am going to use a planner to get rid of just the undergrounds here. just the yellow undergrounds because they're in the way. And now this guy is going to be yellow science. Again, we're just going to bring in a little bit of it, yellow and purple, like that. You can go away, and now we get rid of this whole long production line, transportation belt. There we go. That will take all that science, put it in the logistics area, and then we'll provide it back to the science array in these requester boxes. I think I'm going to leave red and green and black and blue science alone for now. They're all pretty much co-located. The mech armor is back up to consuming 111 per second, or per minute. Time estimate, 27 minutes on you. Let's go watch this for a moment. I am going to bring all of these out to the end of the cell, like that. So one problem with doing it this way is we won't see a belt with a bunch of science on it becoming blank. So that means that in order to see what science we're actually missing, we would need to go to one of the science labs and say, which one are you using that you don't have? Okay, we're going to, let's go ahead and build our Mark II armor. I know we need a Mark II armor to make the rest of this. What else do I need? Oh, I'm going to need a bunch of other things for the Mark II armor as well. So we are going to need some things. I'm going to need portable fission reactors to power this. I am going to need personal roboports Mark II. I'm going to need energy shield Mark II. Actually, these aren't as critical. Get you guys out there. That'll get us power. Let's go from the top here. What is going to be critical for me to have in my big armor? Personal battery Mark II. I think that's critical. Okay. Laser shooting speed. So before we go to Mark II on these guys, is there anything else? Nope, I think that's it. So we're going to go personal roboport and energy shield Mark II. We'll get those scheduled up there. We start building things. So to start, I need to build stuff from here. We're going to start off with building a single power armor Mark II. That will keep one of those in stock. And what are the things we need to put into it? I need to put in 2 of these guys, which we don't know how to build yet. I need to put in personal batteries Mark II, so let's say personal battery Mark I. We'll get 5 of you going, and we'll flip this around and we'll say personal battery Mark II, which we'll have 5 of. I'm going to need exoskeletons. Let's get 5 of those. In fact, I am going to put you down like that. Personal roboports. Get 5 in stock, but we also want to use those to make personal roboport Mark IIs. And what I'm noticing is that these guys require semiconductors. So we either export semiconductors from Fulgora, or we make these on Fulgora. I think we're going to just make those on Fulgora. These guys are okay. Night vision, we just need 1. Which I am going to put into that box. Energy shields. Get 5 of those going. And energy shields Mark II. We're going to need 5 of those. I'm going to spin that around, put it on the right. Nothing too crazy about that except for the research. And personal laser defenses. Going to need 5 of those. Now those require lasers. I am going to require bunches of lasers for defenses very, very soon. We have not even started to deal with the fact that we have biters up here that are going to be getting very aggressive. In fact, I haven't looked at my pollution cloud in quite some time. Yeah, let's get the lasers going. Down here, we're going to ask for laser turrets. And I'm going to build out 400 of those guys. We're going to make 4 machines building those, because we're going to need a bunch. And when we need them, we're going to need a lot of them in a hurry. I think that's all I need to build from here. Let's take a look at the mech armor. Mech armor requires holmium plate, superconductors, and supercapacitors. So this can only... I could export all of that stuff from Fulgora, but I'm not going to. So with that in mind, I'm going to go place the builders on Fulgora for the things that we need to do on Fulgora, knowing that these probably won't get anything done. Oh, I can replace you with a real one too. So, starting from here, you're going to be my build a rocket silo 1. Okay. Now over here we have the stuff for my suit. I said I needed personal roboport Mark II. And to build that, I need personal roboport Mark Is. Okay. And we are going to need to build a mech armor. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put in build a power armor Mark II. Just in case we can do that. You're going to need speed and efficiency modules Mark I, which I may or may not have. Let's put in machines for those. So speed modules Mark I. reason why I'm doing this here is because we need them here. Oh, let's not build this guy. Yeah, we need to build this. So I need to have the Mark II armor on me so I can carry with me all the things that I'm building to put in it here. Now, you don't have these guys, so we need to build them. Why do I get the feeling this is going to be a little bit futile? Anyway, speed module Mark 1. We'll do it up to 1,000. I am pretty sure that we are... Oh, no, we are not requesting these in anywhere else because we don't have requests up there for them yet. Okay, so this should be okay. Okay. See, I'm used to having arrays set up to build these guys, which would then soak up all the ones I wanted to build for my suit. Okay, and there we have it. And that will, over time, build up all of this stuff. I will need to research these. So let's get the research queued up if it isn't. We've got the personal battery, personal roboport, and energy shield. We've got the energy shield here, the battery, the fission reactor. Okay, all those are ready to go. So now it's just a matter of waiting for research to finish and for things to build. I'm going to do that between recordings. When we come back, I will have everything built here, and I'll be ready to put it all together. And then we'll go out to Fulgora to pick up our hot armor, our mech suit. Well, we'll need to actually donate our Mark II armor to the mech suit builder to get our mech suit out. But that's where we'll be, and I will see you in that recording.